Today I would like to present a philosophy of homeschooling, and we'll explore its foundation and benefits and challenges and how it compared to the traditional education. And also the reason I'm recording in the working place, so sometimes it will be some distraction. Okay. And the homeschooling is increasingly popular educational choice worldwide today. Even myself, our family also homeschooling our two kids. So let's begin with our presentation today. What is homeschooling? Homeschooling is educational methods where the parents serve as primary instructor, teacher, educating their children at home. And sometimes they people confusing with the homeschooling and deschooling, or we have different names there, but mainly uh, it's the parents become a teacher and instructing their children at home. Uh, why is it gaining the popularity? The reason why it gained the popularity is because it offers flexibility and personalized learning, and also alignment with the family value and belief. For as a Christian, when I teach something that very unique um, understanding about our Bible, and also want to teach some specific subjects that the school doesn't teach. That's some reason. And many families actually choose the homeschooling due to the concerns about the public education quality and safety, and also individual learning needs. The key philosophical foundations is that how does homeschooling differ from the traditional schooling, and what are its core principles and philosophical foundations that we need to understand. Um, uh, Historical background. Before former schooling, homeschooling was the primary mode of education according to Wikipedia. A lot of people they are homeschooling because at the time there's no uh, the school like today. And of course, children were taught at home by the parents or private tutors. That's why even the famous the kings and the queens actually they are taught by the private famous tutors. So in recent decades, homeschooling has resurged due to the dissatisfaction with the public education and the desire for the customized learning. Um, Traditionally, education centered around religious texts and literacy, and then basic uh, mathematics and also other subjects, according to Wikipedia. And industrialized education system of 19th and 20th centuries led the decline of homeschooling. There are several reasons, of course, but 1960s and 70s saw the revival among the education reformists. So that's the background of homeschooling. What about educational philosophy? And the philosophy of homeschooling is based on the child-centered learning. Um, we are more focused on the learning than just means of education. And each child is unique and learns at a different pace. That's some reason that we choose homeschooling. And homeschooling allows the parents to tailor the curriculum to suit their children's strengths and weaknesses. And because of all the students are different, the children are different. They have different pace and different strengths and weaknesses. That's why If homeschooling, then it will help our students and kids can learn more things with their pace. And it also supports creativity and critical thinking and lifelong learning. Some of things that we learn from the school actually we cannot use when we become adults, but um, but that's why we wanna teach something that we can use in our real life, not only theory, not only on the table, but we wanna like to teach them things they can use and that they're in their real life. So this is more like a learning. The educational philosophy actually frequently integrates faith-based and moral education, which is a priority for many families. That's our value. So what would be the benefits of homeschooling? Um, there are many benefits actually, and the first thing is a personalized learning. So tailor the curriculum based on the children's or child's ability and interest. The second is stronger family bonds. More time spent together strengthens a relationship. That's the one of reason we also choose the homeschooling because we can spend more time with our kids and it's what they want to learn, those things that they can use in their life. At the same time, all things that we are doing is together with our children. That's why they can learn and our relationship getting more stronger than ever before. And the third, number three, is flexible schedule. Learning can be take place anytime and anywhere. You know, sometimes we need to travel to any other place, other places in other cities and other countries. And it really helps us to flexible schedule. We can reschedule the times, and if sometimes they have sick, then we can also reschedule. So it is really helpful. And number four is freedom in curriculum design, which is similar to number three. Parents can select educational math materials that align with their value. So today we have tons of different type of textbooks in their school, and sometimes the textbook is not really matched with our real need. That's why we homeschooling, then we have freedom in curriculum design. You can choose the book that is aligned with our value and also align with our needs. And number five is enhance academic performance. Some of research suggests that many homeschoolers excel in the standardized test. Actually, and there's one research shows that in America, the kids who homeschoolings are have better performance in their examination. So it is really one of some of benefit that we can have through the homeschooling. Of course, there are many challenges in homeschooling. The first thing, or one of the biggest concern from the parents, is a socialization. And I read one of book. Actually, the parents also very worried about and concerned about homeschooling at the first, but through their experience, actually, the kids they they have a very good confidence about making friends with others. So they find actually the kids is not really, shy and cannot relate to the others and lonely in the community. Not that's not the case. When the kids have a good relationship with the parents, they have a good confidence. And when they gain the confidence, and it will be more easier for them to connect with others because they have the first relationship which is the parents. So they have a good connection and can and confidence with the relationship with the parents, then for them will be easier for them to get in connect with others and socialize with the friends and the people that they meet, and also the children and kids that they meet in the church. So of course it's kind of like challenge at the first, but you'll see that actually it's not that big concern that we have. And number two is a parental commitment. It requires a significant time and effort and patience. Yeah, it is. It is. Um, yeah, it takes a long time. For me, my wife, she's the one who doing all the things, teaching and instructing at the same time. She also need to prepare the food for them. So it's quite challenging and it needs a commitment. But once we see the results from the impact to our kids, then we see the the good result and we'll be satisfied with the result. And the number three is the limited resources. It's really you need access to labs and also libraries and also some activities and also there are many limited resources today. But still, it can be fixed and it can be find the way to solve this kind of problem. Yeah, this is a challenge, of course, but still there's a way to solve the problems. And number four is the legal and policy. It depends on the countries and depends on the states and different depends on the area that you live. And of course, some of countries they are really strict to the homeschooling, and it could be illegal in certain countries. That's why this is some of challenges. And number five is academic gaps. Without the careful planning, the student may lack structured learning and essential for the higher education. That's why it needs a great commitment from the parents and also students. Number seven, something that we mentioned earlier before, legal and policy consideration. Homeschooling laws vary significantly worldwide. In some countries, it requires regular assessments and curriculum approval and also teacher qualifications, while other allows complete freedom. So in the US, homeschooling is illegal nationwide, but regulated differently in each state. And some nations banned homeschooling due to the concern about the educational quality and also social integration. Of course, there will be some other reasons. And understanding legal requirements is essential for the parents to consider homeschooling. While with the comparison with the traditional school, of course, there are advantages and also disadvantages from traditional schooling and also homeschooling. Here are some of comparison. So the homeschooling will be more flexible in schedule and also curriculum. For the traditional, it's a fixed schedule and standardized curriculum. So if you want to follow this traditional, yeah, and it depends on their needs and also, of course, the value, yeah, and also academic performance. Uh, it's often equal to or better than traditional students, in my opinion, because some research, as I mentioned before, it shows in America the homeschooling kids is better perform in the test or examination than a traditional schooling. So for the traditional school, of course, it depends also on the quality of the school. Some private school it's more expensive and it give more quality learning experience. So it depends on the schools. The last one is social development. For the homeschooling, requires external effort for the peer interactions. Yeah, the parents need to bring them out and also spend some time for the activity. But for the traditional schooling, yeah, structure the social environment depends on the schools. So role of the parents and community. The parents are the primary educator requiring the dedication and planning. Even my family, we need to plan all the schedules and also uh, the things they need to do and things that you need to learn and all the activity need to done. They can utilize co-ops, online learning programs, and community network. It depends on the age. Some I think in many Christian-based homeschooling, they require our kids should be um, uh, above grade 3 so they can join the online learning. Otherwise, it's more like a textbook-based learning. And then a supportive homeschooling community helps provide well-rounded learning experiences. And what about Ellen G. White perspective on education? This is the most things that I wanna share. So according to the True Education, page 14, says that the system of education instituted at the beginning of the world was to be model for human beings throughout all times. The garden was a schoolroom, nature was the lesson book, the Creator himself was the instructor, and the parents of the human family were the students. So according to Ellen G. White, the first education or first school that we found in this planet is in Eden, the School of Eden. And of course, there was one teacher, which is God. The school is Eden. The textbook is nature. The students were the human beings. So this is the first homeschooling models that we can find from the Bible. First education is also homeschooling from God himself. And other quotation also shows that the importance of the education, which also relate to the homeschooling. Education, page 13, says that the true education means more than pursuing the certain course of study. It has to do with the whole being. It is harmonious development of physical, the mental, and also spiritual powers. This is the purpose of education. So that's why for the Adventist perspective education, we are focused on the whole holistic education, which is including the physical, mental, spiritual power. And nowadays, many school is we need to sit down in the school all day and study and learning things from the textbook, which is contradict with the first education or the true education that mentioned in the book of education. That's why we need to return um, the Eden schooling model, which is focused on the physical, which is our body, and also mental. We can study the Bibles, and also spiritual power by our prayer, by our faith, by our study from the Bibles, and also things we learned from the Bibles and church activities. That's why education, page 30, says that in the highest sense, the work of education and the work of redemption are one. We heard a lot of bad stories about how our young people leave the church after they became adult or after they attend the public school. That's a very, very sad things. I don't want to lose my kids after they grown up, but rather I want to give them the good education while they are kids, learn all the important things that they need to learn. At the same time, I want to give them opportunity to have a stronger faith and relationship with the Jesus, encounter with Jesus, so that they can now leave a church and become a good workers and laborers and missionaries of God in the future. As we know the story of Noah, that he only can save 8 of them from their families. As a human being, the first mission task that we have as the parents is that we need to save our kids from all different temptations and different things in the world. How we do that? Through the true education, teach them about the Bible, how to pray, how to encounter with Jesus, and all the lesson comes from the natures and Bibles, as the Bible and natures are revelation of Jesus. So we need to teach them through this kind of true education, which is more like homeschooling. So, so that the education prepares the individual for both not only earthly but also eternal life. A conclusion: homeschooling is not just alternative to traditional schooling. It embodies a true education that Jesus and that Ellen G. White envisioned. It fosters holistic growth, physical, mental, and spiritual development, and it mirrors God's original educational model, where learning occurs in the family, guided by the faith and moral principles. Homeschooling allows for individualized learning, character building, and preparation for the service of this world and the world to come. As Ellen White emphasized, that true education is not just for the career preparation, but for the lifelong spiritual and moral growth. By embracing homeschooling the right way, parents can provide education that aligns with God's original plan for humanity, an education that nurtures not only the knowledge but also character and faith. So thank you for your time. See you next time.